in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Welcome back to the Citrus TV studios after Syracuse's 63-61 win. With Josh and Dan, I'm Bill, and it's time to look at two of the top performers in this game. We'll start with West Virginia, and boy, what a game for Kevin Jones. It's a reason, Josh, why he might be the Big East Player of the Year.
Yeah, and I mean, you say what a game, and I mean, he did play great, but it's not surprising. I mean, going into this game, we pretty much knew he was going to be West Virginia's top performer. 20 points, 8 rebounds, just another solid performance for Kevin Jones. You know what he's going to do, and he did it again in this one.
And then for Syracuse, how about the play of Brandon Trish? Dan, Coach Boeheim's been asking for Trish to play like that all season long.
Leading the team in scoring with 18 points, but he's been very efficient on the offensive end. 7 of 12 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3. Great offensive option for Syracuse in his junior year.
And Trish did have those 2 free throws, which helped Syracuse win the game and put him on top 63-61. That was the final score, and hey, let's hear from the player of the game afterwards.
We got 3 guys down. We still have 7 guys who can go out there and produce.
Don, do you have a question? Oh, okay. Are you guys concerned at all about the 3-point shooting? You know, you guys have been in a lull for the last 4 or 5 games. Is it just what comes with a normal season, the ebbs and flows of a season?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're the type of team that adapts. You know, we miss him, but we still going to shoot him because we know we can make those shots. You know, Chris is going to make them. You know, James is going to make them. So, you know, once they get it going, you know, the sky's the limit. I think the only thing that can hold us back, maybe it's 3-point lines, getting them the shots, but even though we're still going to be in the game because of our defense, you know, our biggest struggle right now is rebounding consistently. And once we get that down pat, you know, it's going to make it a much easier game.
How are you guys different without Fab?
You're not as scary down low. You know, guys just don't go in there. They're going to actually go at our big mid and try to get them in foul trouble or try to score on them, you know. But with him, you know, he's intimidating. You know, if he's not blocking shots, he's taking charges. He actually getting turnovers on. You know, he's turning the ball over, you know, for the other team.
If those shots keep on not falling until it does start to click, is there kind of an extra mindset to take it to the hoop more?
We're just going to make the right plays. You know, we're going to get to the basket. We're going to try to get to the basket. If not, then we're going to pass it out to the 3-point line. And, you know, we're going to knock them down. You know, against Notre Dame, we was missing. You know, if we made a few, then maybe we would have been in the game. But, you know, our defense is what's going to keep us in the game. And, you know, our experience is what's going to, you know, take us over the top and win the game.
On the lines of that defense,
just being able to get more stops, just being over place. I mean, a lot of times I could have got rebounds where I was just one step away. I think in Cincinnati I was more active defensively, and if I was able to do that, then I probably would have given me a higher grade.
Talking about the rebounding.
So that's Brandon Trish, who finished the game with 18 points for Syracuse, but now we got to go back negative a bit for the Orange after this 2-point win. They struggled again in rebounding. I understand Fab Melo wasn't out there, but they were out-rebounded 41-20.
I mean, it's unacceptable, and quite frankly, I got to agree with what Chip Angeles just told us in his report. The guards and forwards beyond Fab Melo, Christmas, and Baikeda have to step it up. When you look at West Virginia, Truck Bryant and Hines, Brown all had 5 rebounds. Those are guards. Syracuse didn't get that on their end, and Dion Waiters, he's a big guy for the position that he plays. So is Brandon Trish. Those guys have to be hitting the glass harder, and also, got to expect a little more than 3 out of C.J. Fair.
Syracuse forced 17 turnovers in this game, and the only reason West Virginia stayed in it, their dominance on the offensive glass. They out-rebounded Syracuse on the offensive glass 19-5, creating second-chance opportunities. Syracuse would have won by much more than 2 in this game if they had corralled those defensive rebounds, but their dependency on Fab Melo on the glass is really starting to show, and their lack of depth in the front court. Keita and Christmas, there are good options up front, but as we saw, Keita doesn't have the hands to control those rebounds, and Rakeem Christmas, after that strong game against Cincinnati, really didn't have any kind of effort against West Virginia today.
And that issue was extra large in the second half, where Syracuse was out-rebounded by 17 by the Mountaineers. Now, part of that could have had to do with the foul trouble for Syracuse. Without Fab Melo, both Rakeem Christmas and Baikeda got into foul trouble. Does that just show that there's a lack of depth on the inside when Melo doesn't play?
Absolutely. I mean, when Keita and Christmas are committing all of those fouls, there are no options for Syracuse in the low post on both ends of the floor, and teams are starting to beat the zone that way on offense. They're dumping it into the low post. and teams are just bullying their way to the basket. You saw Jack Cooley against Notre Dame, and he dominated against Christmas and Keita, Josh.
Yeah, he did. And to me, it's just simple math. You're going to give up some fouls underneath, but when you're splitting up those fouls between two guys instead of three, you got a much better chance of getting in foul trouble. And also, teams, like you said, are a lot more willing to go inside because they're not afraid of the blocks of Fab Melo anymore because he's not there. So it's bringing even more pressure to the inside of that zone, and Christmas and Bai just can't handle it.
Well, obviously, most Syracuse fans are really hoping that they can get that return for Fab Melo by the St. John's game next Saturday. Coming up here on Orange Press Pass, Josh and Dan will be back to give us the turning point of the game. This is Orange Press Pass on Citrus TV.